This is Carl with the three things I'm watching for Friday, October 17th. Starting out, bottom line is I'm gonna hit on some topics today. Nothing really pertinent, but some things that are coming up and more or less some underlying factors, kind of like I hit all the time. But yesterday, talking to some guys out in Iowa on their crops and stuff, and a few weeks ago we had a pretty big hailstorm come through Iowa. Starting to get the insurance numbers on that. Guys telling me that there's a stretch in I'll call it West Central Iowa where a pretty big hailstorm came through, and the majority of this was centered around a little bit north of that Sioux City, Sioux Center area. Bottom line is about 32 square miles of soybeans got hit really hard with hail. Reports a 58% yield loss. Now, you consider and say, well, it's 58% loss, wasn't a total loss. It wasn't, but that's a big chunk of area, but it's not a huge area, obviously. But 32 square miles, you cut the soybeans there, that's just one more cut. We're hearing that. We're hearing damage in other places. The thing is, what I'm getting at is it is getting more and more difficult to believe the USDA production number. Now, a lot of guys are saying that their soybean yields are actually surprisingly good. But yet hardly anybody's saying they're better than last year. So it's getting harder to bring that average up when you have factors like this bringing the crop down. So that's kind of what I want to say is we are hearing a lot of reports of better than expected soybeans, and we're glad to hear that. But keep in the back of your mind that we do have quite a few trouble spots out there. We've focused on the corn quite a bit on losing yield. Trade's starting to wake up that maybe the soybean crop is seeing some losses too. And, it goes without saying that our balance sheets cannot tolerate any yield loss on soybean at all. Uh, Second thing here, the gold market. We're at $4,350 an ounce here this morning. That market is on a tear. Bottom line, people, why? Well, and it's not just gold. Gold and silver both putting in all-time highs. Saw a forecast yesterday that there's some economists thinking that those values could double in the next year. That gold could be up to 9,000, maybe $10,000 an ounce a year from now. A lot of this strength, and I am not a gold or precious metal expert, but the people that are saying this is basically risk buying. A lot of concern in the market, a lot of concern in the crypto market that there's a crypto bubble coming. And that's basically from the high leverage factor. There's investors in crypto that are leveraged 100 to 1, meaning for every $100 they're putting into crypto, they borrowed 99. That's a little bit concerning. For reference, in the housing market, a lot of people were leveraged 10 or 20 to 1. So you're 10 times what guys were in the housing market. Now, this isn't everybody, but it's a concern. You look at some of the economic outlooks and some of the policy the United States has right now, and that's why we're seeing this buying in gold. And there's other factors, don't get me wrong, but these are some of the main ones. And as long as gold is rallying, regardless of why anybody is buying, it does tend to support commodities when you see safe haven buying. Everybody wants tangible products, and right now it's gold, but that does tend to support the ag sector it has in the past. Third and final thing I want to talk about, and this is a statement that came out of the White House yesterday, and this isn't a political statement. This is just a what the hell are you talking about statement. President Trump claims that he is going to fix high beef prices in the United States, and he has magic he can work. Unless that magic is pulling about 2 million head of feeder cattle out of your backside there, Mr. Trump, I do not think you can fix this situation as quick as you think you can. What you can do, however, is cause panic selling in the livestock complex. Yeah, so we'll watch and see how this pans out, but I do think this is more talk than anything. You tell me how we're going to find more cattle because that's what continues to support prices. I'll be the first to admit, cattle, I think they're overvalued, they're overpriced, and yeah, it's hurting the consumers, but it's a supply and demand issue. Unless you can find more supply, you're going to have a problem without killing that demand. We all know that. Those are the three things I'm watching today.